Call this meeting to order at 5:32. And Councillor Jamieson has sent his regrets. Any declaration of interest or general nature thereof, please state it now. Seeing none, we'll move on to number 3, the purpose of the meeting, TLTI official plan amendment. And I'll ask the planner to speak to this. There's new information that's just been brought to the council table this evening. So go ahead, Madam Planner.
Thank you, through your worship. I just point out that the reports have been distributed to council, so they're in front of you at your seats. This amendment is an amendment to implement a settlement that was the result of an outstanding appeal to the county's official plan. Because of that outstanding appeal, a portion of our official plan wasn't approved when our plan was approved by the counties. So what this amendment does is implements that settlement into our official plan through changing a note that was on one of the schedules in our plan. So the note that was there that indicated the outstanding appeal is being amended and removed to be replaced with the wording from the settlement that was approved by the LPAT. I'd also note that this official plan amendment includes an amendment to the agricultural section of the official plan that implements some wording that was requested by OMAFRA at the time that the official plan review was occurring. But at that point in time, the Township Council had approved the version of the official plan that had gone up to the counties. So OMAFRA requested that that wording be modified when an amendment was done to the plan. The wording is very specific in terms of just stating that an official plan amendment isn't required to the county's official plan should someone need to amend the township official plan for a site-specific use. So it's a minor technical wording modification. Notice for this meeting was provided through publication in a couple of newspapers with general circulation, as well as notification to the entire circulation list that was compiled through the official plan process. So there was significant notice provided. There was one comment provided, which was posted on the website. It was just a general comment with respect to the amendment, not bringing forward any concerns or issues with it. And I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Maybe just to add to that, to what the Director of Planning has said, this was brought forward at county as it was sort of held up there, this portion, until they could have the wording amended. And this was brought forward by a number of marine facilities located within the township, because it had to do with incorrect floodplain and wetlands mapping, I should say. So it was satisfied at the county table. So that piece of this amendment is pretty straightforward, and the marinas were satisfied, which is why this moved forward. They came to mutual agreement, both counties and the appellants. So this part is pretty straightforward. I obviously haven't had a chance to take a look at the agriculture part of the amendment. So that's on page 5. Yes, on page 5, I believe. So we realized that it's a little bit difficult because the information is just getting to the councillors this evening. Does anybody have any questions for the planner? Councillor Maybe.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and the new system, trying to. When I reviewed the information that we had in our package, the legal costs put out by the others, so all the marina owners have, spent substantially to try to bring this forward and get some sort of decision here. There's no retribution being requested or anything like that. I just thought I'd bring it up just to make sure that we're clear that we're clear of it at this point, and that any other discussion on legal matters pertaining to the wetlands.
Madam Planner, you want to speak to that?
Through your worship, the legal matters have been dealt with. It was the appeal at the county level, so the township wasn't party to that appeal. This is to implement that, and once this is implemented, those appeals are done and dealt with. The board, or the LPAT, has issued their order.
Are there any further questions in regards to this for the planner? Mr. Councillor Fody?
Thank you, Your Worship, and through you to our planner. So on page 6 of this new piece we have, 5.1.6, that is the final draft there, is it?
Through your worship, that's the amended wording for the agricultural amendment. So the existing wording states that an amendment to the township's official plan and the United County of Leeds and Grenville official plan shall be required to change the designation from agriculture to another land use. And in considering any such amendment, council must be satisfied that, and there's a list of criteria in the plan that's not changing. The amended wording states that an amendment to the township's official plan shall be required to change the designation to a special exception agricultural designation to permit a non-agricultural use. So what the change in wording that OMAFRA has requested does is removes the need to amend the county's official plan and stipulates that if there's an amendment on an agriculturally designated piece of property, that it stay within a specific agricultural designation rather than being, say, an institutional or an industrial designation.
Thank you.
Councillor Oki?
Your Worship, it seems to me what they're saying is that there's no blanket changes to anything.
Madam Planner?
Through your worship, that's correct, and that's consistent with the provincial policy statement in terms of looking at the protection of agricultural land uses. So it's consistent with the provincial policy.
Councillor Gorell?
Just to be clear, our official plan will be finalized with a bylaw, and if I read this correctly, that bylaw shall come into force and take effect the day of final passing, provided approval from the county.
Through your worship, that's correct. I'd also point out that this is, because of the technical nature of this amendment, it will be on the regular agenda this evening for a recommendation so that it can be forwarded to the county.
Sorry, is there a motion there to forward that to county then? Or is that included here?
I think it's included in the recommendation. This is just the public meeting portion.
Oh, I see. Thank you.
So there's no motion this evening. Not for the public portion, no. Okay. Further questions for the planner in regards to this planning report? No problem. Any further questions? Going once, going twice, sold. So I will have the motion from Councillor Maybe and seconded by Councillor Fody that the public meeting adjourn. All those in favor of said motion? All those opposed? Carried.